Thank you for coming to MTG Anonymous, your daily source for random free-to-play decks on MTG Arena. I would appreciate it if you would like, comment, and subscribe whenever you get the chance. Also, feel free to watch any other content that I've produced. I'll see you in the video. Alrighty, I figured I'd do a special one for today since we are over 1,000 views for the channel. We're going to do Good Eatin' Jund. This is the deck we used in the 12 free games of Standard. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Average CMC is 2.2. There are 24 creatures, 4 sorceries, 8 artifacts, and 24 lands. First, we have the Cauldron Familiar. For 1 black, you get a 1/1 cat. When it enters the battlefield, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. Sacrifice a food, return it from your graveyard to the battlefield. So everyone knows about this combo. Cauldron Familiar and Witch's Oven. You play the Cauldron Familiar, you can sacrifice the Witch's Oven, and then at instant speed you can bring the Cauldron back, so you do 2 damage to your opponent each turn, as long as you have at least 1 cat and 1 oven. A World Grazer. For 1 green, you go 0/3 with reach. When it enters the battlefield, you may put a land card from your hand onto the battlefield tapped. So, obviously, we're just using this so that way we can get some more lands in the battlefield. And then also we can block flyers until we get our big boy out. Gilded Goose. For 1 green, you get a 0/2 bird with flying. When it enters the battlefield, create a food token. And then for 1 and a green, tap, create a food token, and tap, sacrifice a food, add 1 mana of any color. So this is our token generator, other than the Witch's Oven, obviously. So what we'll do is every turn that we don't have something to do on our opponent's turn, we tap it, create a food token. If we need it for mana, then we can sacrifice the food token, but we wouldn't want to do that until later in the game. Open the Gates, 1 of 1. It's green. For sorcery, search your library for a basic land or gate card, reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle your library. So, you know why this is in here, just to grab 1 extra, so that way when we play another World Grazer, we have a land in our hand. That's what we want this for. Witch's Oven. For 1 of any color, tap, sacrifice a creature, create a food token. If the sacrificed creature's toughness was 4 or greater, create 2 food tokens instead. So, sacrifice it, get 1 food token, or sacrifice the Cauldron Familiar, get 1 food token, bring it back, and we can keep doing that over and over again. Well, once a turn, obviously. Curious Pair. For 1 and a green, you get a 1/3 human peasant, Hansel and Gretel, and then there's Adventure. Sorcery, Treats to Share. For 1 green, you create a food token. So, early, if we don't have Witch's Oven, but we have Cauldron Familiar in case we're going against Mill, we can just pop this for the 1 green, which we'll definitely have, and then use the Cauldron Familiar to come back. Severed Strands. 1 and a black is an additional cost to cast this spell. Sacrifice a creature. You gain life equal to the sacrificed creature's toughness. Destroy target creature an opponent controls. So actually what we want to do is use this on Corvold when our life's getting low. It'll be at least a 5/5 by the time you do this. So we'll gain 5 life, get destroyed a creature, and then hopefully we have another one. Mayhem Devil. For 1 a black and a red, you get a creature devil 3/3. When a player sacrifices a permanent, Mayhem Devil deals 1 damage to any target. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4 ways to sacrifice permanents. 5 ways to sacrifice permanents. And then that doesn't include just sacrificing the food tokens themselves. So basically every turn, we're going to deal at least 1 damage to our opponent. And then hopefully we can get all 4 out, and then it'll be 4 damage. We can wipe out any creatures that are standing our way. Savvy Hunter. 1 a black and a green. Whenever Savvy Hunter attacks or blocks, create a food token, and then sacrifice 2 foods, draw a card. We don't need to do that since we have Corvold, unless we can't get it for some reason. We want to save those foods for the Cauldron Familiar, basically, or for gaining life. Rakdos Locket. For 3, tap, add black or red, and then for Rakdos, 4 times, tap, sacrifice Rakdos Locket, draw a card. There are 3 Corvold Fae Cursed King, 2 a black, a red, and a green for a 4/4 Dragon Noble. Has flying. Whenever it enters the battlefield or attacks, sacrifice another permanent, and when you sacrifice a permanent, put a +1/+1 counter on Corvold and draw a card. So, as this said, as soon as this enters the battlefield, what we're going to do is we're going to sacrifice the Cauldron Familiar. We get to draw a card. Hopefully it's a way to make a food, and then we put the Familiar back. When it's time to attack, we'll do the same thing again. And then for the lands, we got a smorgasbord of lands. A swamp, 2 mountains, 5 forest, 4 gingerbread cabins, just so we can hopefully make some food tokens, 2 blood crypt, 2 bloodfell caves, 2 jungle hollow, 2 overgrown tomb, 2 rugged highlands, and 2 stomping grounds. So basically, they're 9, 11, 13, 15, 17 different ways to make green. And then, since green is the most prevalent of our colors, then we need it. And then also, as long as we have the Gilded Goose out, we can make another color. So as long as we start the game off with 2 colors, then we're good. That's it for this one. This one's a real short and quick one. I will see you in the next video. Later.